Talk. 30 minutes of fun-packed gag-a-go-go comedy from the best of our last series.
And do you remember what you were doing on April the 9th?
Why, indeed I do, Kevin. We were together.
General election, live show.
Bringing down the government. This is Loose Talk Live, and it's time to go into our audience and get the first question on the election. Kev.
Could we have your name, please?
Alexander Mitchell.
Hello, Alexander. And your question is?
What kind of soap is in Mr. Major's box?
What kind of soap is in Mr. Major's box? Double came. All right, it was fast.
Imperial blether and a lot of flannel.
Oh, the first groan of the evening. Before we come back to the question, I want to root out the political bias. Who did people vote for on the panel? Pat?
Well, I'm a Conservative with a small c, so I voted Labour.
Parrot, Monster Raving Linny Party, because I knew they were going to get in. I just didn't know which one.
Mark? It had to be, look, the Natural Law Party. Listen. The only party that says they'll teach you how to do yogic flying. There you go. Floating voters, I think that's all.
Floating voters, I don't know, does Maxwell count anymore? And there you go. Yes, grown number 2 to the fat jock, thank you. The undecided voters, just a word to them, because you know who you are. Or do you?
And what about you, Mark? You're a socialist, aren't you?
No, I voted Labour, mate, so...
Kev? Well, I can tell you that my granddad voted for John Major because Pol Pot wasn't available in his constituency. What I hate is people... Because you ask people a simple question. You say, who did you vote for? Labour. Who did you vote for? Liberal Democrat. Who did you vote for? That's between me and the ballot box. People died so I could vote. Dunkirk, Winston Churchill, Bobby Moore. Oh, you voted Tory, did you? Yeah.
Yep, talking about a ballot box, I know some squatters who bucked the system. They went down to the ballot box, liked it, and moved in.
On John Major's soapbox, though, it was incredible that he was dragging this soapbox everywhere, and there's a dosser down at the South Bank just going, oi, what's happened to my bed?
Forget the soapbox and the ballot box. What about the egg box? That was a good one, you see. When he caught that wrong end of a golden lay, I really made my day. Face omelette. Oh, you've got to hand it to Major, though. He did stay very calm under shell fire, didn't he?
Cracking joke.
Third groan. Third groan. We got a question here from, I think it's from Larry, but it might be Sally, I couldn't tell you. Do we have to go the way the Americans do with their campaigns?
Well, it's certainly a presidential-style campaign, so where the hell's Lee Harvey Oswald when you need him? That's what I want to know.
It is. John, don't get on the battle bus. Get in the open-top convertible. Actually, it would probably be eggs. Oh, no, they're eggs. We found a carton over by the grassy knoll. It's definitely eggs. And there's one over by the bookstore. It's a 2-egg theory.
There must have been a point where JFK thought it was an egg. Went, brain-coloured. A mate of mine said to me they were going to see JFK, the film, so I jokingly said, he gets shot. He goes, oh, that's, you've spoilt it now. I'm not going. It's a joke.
Actually, I think the egg attack was a very simple mistake because you notice it's on the same day that there was a bomb outside a delicatessen in London. So he just got mixed up, then he left his bomb in the sandwich bar, chucked his lunch at the Prime Minister.
What I want to know is to fire an egg that far and that fast and with such accuracy, how hard do you have to squeeze the chicken?
And there's been a lot of talk about negative campaigning, but I don't think negative enough. I think the Tories' campaign should have been done by Benetton. Should have been. He should have had a picture of a woman having a baby taken out of her stomach, cesarean section, with the slogan, "You can't trust Labour." You groaned, but you clapped.
Ooh, like so many other things in life.
Live radio, live.
The poster campaign.
I think what was incredible was that Jennifer's ear became a campaign issue. Jennifer's ear? What about Paddy's knob? And there's a longer waiting list for Paddy's knob.
Yes, I think, yes. I think there was a sympathy vote, actually, for Shagger Ashdown, wasn't there? Since he developed Parkinson's disease, you might say.
I say to you, loose talk.
I wish to listen firstly to what my colleagues have to say.
Kevin's about to go into the audience like a little Oprah Winfrey running around there.
Could we have your name first, please?
Do I have to?
Yes. Or we get the bouncers out. Hey, it's Fame and Fortune. Oh, you're not meant to be here. One of those scenarios. You can give a false name if you want. What's your name, first of all?
It's Lorraine.
Lorraine. And can we have your question, please?
Doesn't the Gulf War prove that we need a fully equipped operational army in the future?
Yeah, seek high, Lorraine. Well done.
The question there, doesn't the Gulf War prove that we need a fully equipped and operational army in the future?
Mark. Tom King seems to me he's going through some sort of second childhood, because I remember when I was a kid, like all boys, at some point you look at all your soldiers and you think, oh, I'm throwing some of them away, I've had enough of them, and they chew off the little plastic bases as well there. And then the rest of them, you mix them up into weird regiments, which is what he's done. I used to have, like, the Lancashire Fusiliers mixed with the French Foreign Legion and a few farmyard animals, you know. We're going over the top, ready? Bah! You know,
I think the question as well, going back to Lorraine's question, it kind of presupposes that we won the war, because apparently we're going to have to bomb them again, aren't we? Because we missed. We spent 3 weeks bombing them to buggery, and we missed. Who was in charge of that? Chris Waddle. I was impressed, though, because the 200 ex-soldiers marched on the House of Commons this week, which is very nice, until, unfortunately, they met the legalised cannabis campaign coming the other way. And you could see them all going, you know what, Archie, I'm not as bothered as I used to be about this subject. Because they say they're having big arguments about what regiments do we disband, and my theory is that the Queen Mother is Commander-in-Chief of about 8 regiments. So wait till she dies and then chop them. That's it. Oh, not the Queen Mother. Oh, no, the Queen Mother. The Queen Mother, she fought in the war. Oh, no, that was decent, ordinary working class people. My mistake. Oh, listen, no. Listen, I would fight for the people say to me, you wouldn't fight for your Queen and country, would you? I would fight for my Queen and country if they fought for me. So the day the Queen turns up at away matches, saying, come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
Go on, Claire.
And of course, it is in the end, I think, always the working class lads that get it. Certainly in the Gulf, they sent loads of sort of working class laddos out there. The theory being that if they fly an aeroplane or anything like they drive a car, they'd be totally unstoppable, right? And one Iraqi pilot reckoned that a British plane pulled up alongside him and there was about 12 lads crammed into one cockpit. All giving him the V's and sticking their arses out the window. And a woman in Baghdad, she reckoned that during an air raid, a British plane wound down the window and somebody shouted, "Get your yashmak off," which is morally wrong, but I'm afraid the women of Baghdad are going to have to get used to that sort of behaviour because there's going to be a few building sites knocking about, I think.
I think one of the great bits about the army cuts is the fact that they've altered, or they will affect rather, the Queen's ceremonies. They're not going to have the soldiers there to do the ceremonies, which is going to be brilliant because the Queen's going to have to drag ordinary people off the streets to actually have the trooping of the colour. They have the Queen's own dispatch riders. Or like Securicorps doing it, marching around with thermos flasks. And they're saying, oh, no, you can't get rid of these regiments because they've got lovely mascots. We'll get some new ones. Ed the Duck isn't doing anything at the moment. Get him. This is Ed, Your Majesty. Be brilliant. I will miss the dogs on the parades because when the dogs were on parades, there was always that slight chance that one of them might shag the Queen's leg.
But I don't know why we worry about it. We've no need to worry about the army cuts because the Territorial Army are there, aren't they? How many of them volunteered for the Gulf? 12. No, I can't do next weekend. Or failing that, I want to see the arms cuts because if things get really bad, we might have to get Jackie Mann back behind his Spitfire. See how brave the Mouthy Git really was. Oh, just because he was locked up for 2 years doesn't mean we have to like him. Harsh but fair.
I do actually sort of question the need for an army because why is anyone going to invade us? What have we got that anyone else wants, apart from Salman Rushdie? What have we got? We're not going to send more troops abroad. I hope we're not. Major actually said that he wasn't going to send any troops to Yugoslavia because he didn't want British troops to be killed needlessly. And I feel like going, no, it's all right. The Americans aren't involved in this one. Ooh, we just about got away with that one.
Let us be proud of what we have accomplished.
Loose Talk! Next week we begin the recordings for the new series of Loose Talk at Birmingham.
You can get free tickets from reception, Radio WFM, Pebble Mill Road, Birmingham, or the Porsche Nightclub, Regent's Park Road, Small Heath. It's at 7:30. It's on Thursday.
And it's free.
And now back to the best of the last series and the night we visited Glasgow.
Indeed, I think it was the day after Robert Maxwell happened to slip off of his boat.
Looks a daisy.
I saw the headline.
Just sort of general roundup of what's been in the news. Fred.
I saw the headline about the Quorn hunt, and it said, Hunt kills off foxes. And then there was 2 days later, Maxwell drowns off canaries. So it's been a bad week for birds and animals, really.
No, it's obviously very, very tragic about Captain Bob. Didn't bob enough, though, did he? I just want to see the person at the back with the rudder going, man up. No, it's all right, keep going. It's fine, don't worry, just keep going, mate, it's fine, don't you worry.
Well, no, Mark, be fair. The Daily Mirror, good heckle. Is he going to heaven? Good heckle from the religious student for that.
No, I think he's going to buy it, though.
Well, according to the Daily Mirror, Bob's Dead edition, he's definitely going to go to heaven. But I like the way the other newspapers for once were very sensible. Like The Guardian said, Maxwell drowned at sea. The Telegraph said, mysterious death of Maxwell at sea. The Sun said, Ken Barlow's still a tosser.
He did it.
Allegedly, in case he's listening.
You actually see the front of the Mirror, and it says, a great big extraordinary man. Pages 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 18, 19, 34, 35 and 36.
I have a question here I did promise to read, and the question is, can I have the panel's opinion on Echo's perfume? Brackets, it's a crap question, I know, but I want you to read my name out. And it's from Trevor Graham Photography. For that personal touch in wedding photography... Find me in the yellow pages. That's Trevor Graham. For that personal touch in wedding photography. Is it just weddings you do, Trevor?
Should get into funerals, mate. Big one coming up soon.
Was it you on the boat? Just back one more step.
Could we have your name, please?
Tim Hode, Esquire.
Lovely. Lovely. And could we have your question, please? Tim Hode, Esquire.
Yeah. Are there any social workers here tonight, as I've got a few problems I'd like to talk about?
Could you just read it out once more without the sexy dip at the end? Because you're not impressing anybody here, big boy. Just one more time, if you wouldn't mind. Sorry, just for the purposes of humiliating you even more, actually. Now, could you just read your question out again, Tim? Thank you.
Are there any social workers here tonight, as I've got a few problems I'd like to talk about?
I'd like to know what the problems are.
Take one look and guess.
Do you get out a lot, Tim, lovey?
I should point out, if there are social workers listening, we don't mean to take the piss. No, honestly, we don't. The producer's got kids. He wants to keep them. This whole Frank Beck business was so bizarre because not only did he abuse kids, apparently he was buggering social workers as well. So at least it makes a change for the kids to stand by and do nothing while social workers get abused.
How many social workers does it take to change a light bulb? We're not changing the light bulb, we're just removing it from the socket for a period of assessment. All right. Pat?
There's been another case, apparently, in North Wales, a couple of children's homes. The police have been called in after an internal probe. Bit of an unfortunate term, that one, but... I'm surprised that this kind of thing is going on so much in this country. I thought we were a nation of dog lovers, but there you go.
I haven't got any kids, but I was trying to sort of find out about childcare for future years. I went to the library, and there's loads of books on childcare by Dr. Spock. Now, he's a famous paediatrician, but I didn't realise. I thought it was the other one. I thought, what does he know about babysitting? He's a Vulcan for a start. He hasn't got any emotions, you know. What's he going to say? Baby crying. Ah, tears. I've heard of this. A salty, clear solution caused by secretion of the lacrimal glands. Interesting. When he changes his first nappy, it'll be like that one of those weird little baby babas, you know, that sort of full Piccadilly number, you know. It's poo, Jim, but not as we know it. Weird stuff.
A crap joke or what?
It's a crap joke, isn't it? Also, what was it? Captain's log start.
I'm glad to see we got through that without mentioning Klingons.
They're all over the starboard bow, apparently.
Tests on 7-year-olds. I'm in favour of tests on 7-year-olds, as long as it's for essential medical research, obviously. No, because, all right, look, put it this way. The pit bull terrier, very dangerous little dog, especially around small children. That's why I think pit bulls should be allowed to roam at will in pub gardens. Are you with me on this?
One of the great things that happened, though, this week, the Scottish police announced that they wouldn't prosecute gay men over the age of 16, because, I don't know if you know this, but the age of consent for gay men is 21. Queen Victoria decided that if you were gay, you couldn't have sex with another man unless you were 21, but if you were 8, you could be shoved up a chimney or something like that. And so that was the rule. So Scotland have now said, we won't prosecute if you're over 16, which I think is absolutely brilliant. I think all the gay Englishmen will be going up by train, standing on the border, going, na, 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 na. I think British Rail should help out. They should have an away gay. Travelling on a pink Saver Day or something. I think that'd be really nice.
So, Mark, tell me about this stuffing up the chimney again.
Oh, it's a barbaric practice, mate.
Yeah, not Shelter, sorry, Help the Aged had a report this week about 2 things. The first one was about old people making love. They said old people should make love as often as possible, which my granddad is very pleased about. I haven't asked my granny, she's disappeared somewhere, but... They were talking about as well the conditions in old folks' homes, and I did some work in some old folks' homes. They're awful. I mean, these poor old people, they just sit there staring at the walls, mumbling to themselves. Oh, no, that's a bus. Sorry. Because if you go to an old folks' home, it makes you realise why old people are nostalgic for the Blitz. It's nice to have a visitor, even if it is a doodle bug.
We don't look up to old people anymore, maybe because they're all about 4'3", but... That's terrible. No, that's horrible.
Some of them are all right, but you elderly people are okay, but some are real sort of like, they're like sort of Doberman pensioners, you know. I
think it's, in general, I think it's very sad the lack of respect this country shows to old people, because they've contributed a lot to society, and society should help them back out. And then I think, no, sorry, when they've had their go, haven't they?
We talked partly about the immediate situation.
Roast talk!
Could we have your name first, please?
Helen Dunton.
Hello, Helen. And your question is?
If he released it, would Terry Waite's version of Tie a Yellow Ribbon Round the Old Oak Tree make it to Christmas #1?
Great question.
Yeah, great question. If he released it, would Terry Waite's version of Tie a Yellow Ribbon make it to #1?
Come on. I would say it would, but it'd be there for 5 years. That was our thought.
Oh, yes. Who do you think he is? Brian Adams? No, I do think it will get to #1, because I think, they're enormous celebrities now that the hostages are incredible celebrities. And now that Terry's out, they're actually going to do a reunion gig of, John, Jackie, Terry and Ringo. It was amazing. I thought what was incredible was the fact that the the Hezbollah, the Islamic Jihad rather, apologised to Terry Waite. So I said, look, we're really sorry. Bit of a cock up on the booking, we're sorry. Maybe you'd like to sign our guest book.
All right. I love that little badge Terry was wearing when he got off the plane. Lose weight now, ask me how. They could, I mean, I have to say, as terrorists go, I was a bit disappointed. They could have come up with an excuse for keeping him there. It's like, oh, sorry, Terry, someone said it was just stag night. We tied you up, we lost the key. You know, it's like you have a few drinks, a kebab, you lose all sense of time, mate, don't you? You know, it's like, look, no hard feelings. Look, we've signed the blindfold for you, mate. Look, take it.
I couldn't help feeling, how did they overcome the incredible just boredom of sitting there chained to the wall in the dark year after year? What on earth did they do to pass the time on? You imagine them sitting there, sort of chained to the wall, playing charades. So with one of them going, right, what am I? A biro at the bank. No, I'm not. I'm a pencil at the betting shop. Ha!
So you see the way he was dressed, I thought all the train spotters would be going, oh, lovely jacket, Terry. I know it's a bit mean, I'm sorry.
He's going to be on the Clothes Show next week. They've kitted him out. It's like going to be doom straight onto the catwalk. This is what this year's hostage is wearing these days. Jacket by Gautier, trousers by Bruce Oldfield, and the ball and chain from Next Accessories for that witty ding, 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 ding.
And also, can I say?
Yeah, you
Did you see on the flight back as well where he said he wanted to get up in the cockpit with the pilots? It would have been brilliant if he'd gone up there and gone, take this plane to Beirut, it's a hijack. I'm kidding.
And apparently today's the day he gets his teeth and eyes checked. I hope he's got the bloody money. Lose weight now, ask me.
I thought what was incredible was seeing Douglas Hurd there, because Douglas Hurd was wandering around with Terry as if he'd done something, you know, like to help Terry. He didn't even know who he was. They're going, Douglas, Terry Waite's out. And he's going, which one was he, Birmingham or Guildford? The government did nothing. I've seen more action in a Polish art movie. That was incredible.
Apparently Robert Runce's first words to him when he got on the plane were, Terry, there's these two girls in Thailand. And his second words were, you're taking the piss with that overtime claim, Terry, aren't you?
Yeah, that really upset me, Ollie North being Terry's mate, because I was watching Terry making his speech when he came out, and it was very moving. You're thinking, oh, what a brave man. Then we cut to bloody Oliver North saying how he's a good mate of Terry's. I thought, how could he like someone so crap? It's a bit like when you find out that Billy Connolly's married to Pamela Stevenson.
Hey, just a minute, he's a mate of mine.
It's a difficult question because it's the old cliche, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. One man's hostage is another man's moaning git. One man's meat, something to do on a Friday evening, isn't it?
Where's the dog? There was a dog question.
There was a dog question, wasn't
somewhere
there?
about why, why didn't they interview Terry's dog? Because he's a dog, basically.
And also the dog's not very happy because Terry Waite's last words to him were, stay.
Loose talk.
The principle of it is widely accepted. The way it works isn't.
This is Loose Talk coming from Belfast. And on to our next question, Kevin.
Can we have your name, please?
Tom Boggs.
Tom Boggs. And your question is, Tom?
Since the government is turning a blind eye to shops opening on Sundays, should off-licences be given similar dispensation?
Man after my own heart. Someone desperate for a drink.
Since the government is turning a blind eye to supermarkets opening on Sunday, should off-licences be given a similar dispensation? Yes, and betting shops as well. Absolutely right. It is absolutely outrageous that people who've got enormous funds and enormous money, and it might just slip into the back pocket of the Tory party, are being let off because they're breaking the law. By opening on Sunday, they're breaking the law. I reckon we should all go shoplifting on Sunday. Also, I don't know if you know this, but if you play the Lord's Prayer backwards, it actually says there's 10p off on the own brand ice cream.
And they say you mustn't do it. You mustn't do it because it's in the Bible. It says in the Old Testament, it says on the seventh day, God said the shops shall be shut. And there shall be nothing but crap on the television. But hang about. Here's the New Testament where it says, except DIY superstores. The things you can buy and not buy, bizarre, for example, you can buy porn mags on a Sunday. You can't buy Bibles, which is out of order, I think. Because if you want a bit of Sunday relaxation, you can't beat Leviticus. She begat him and he begat her. It's lovely. Or for Laurel and Hardy fans, she begat him and he begat her. And it's pointless. There's no point even buying porn mags because you can't buy tissues on a Sunday either.
See Frank's headboard.
I think it's really odd that all this stuff coming to a head now, because I actually saw Ian Paisley on The Box recently, and he is frightening. Honestly, he could say anything and he would be frightening. He could read out his shopping list. Cat litter! Kiwi fruit, 2 tins of tomatoes! McCain oven-ready chips.
And a pornographic magazine. Oh, no. Yeah, the Attorney General said also last night in the Commons that they would not be interfering with illegal trading. Right? They decided, how do you interfere with that? You know, put the police in. Put the sausage down. Step away from the checkout, holding your credit card where we can see it.
I wonder what these store detectives are going to be like on a Sunday. Excuse me, sir, I just saw you going through the 8 items or less there with those 5 loaves and 2 fishes. Just, The churches are going to try and compete now with the supermarkets, aren't they? So instead of having like the organist playing hymns, you'll just have this Tracy, wedding in aisle 1.
I think it'd be brilliant because you have a little confessional and you put 10p in the slot and it rocks around for 30 seconds.
Frank, I wonder if the shops that sell sports gear are going to be open on Sundays, because these are very special shops, right? Full of very fat people in tracksuits, right? Who dress like that so people will think they do sport. No, they won't think that, I'm afraid, right? But the strangest things in these sports shops, things become very trendy now, are these really big trainers, right? You know, the massive, great things, the sort of things that Florence used to wear on Magic Roundabout, right? And I was in a sports shop, and this kid was returning a pair of trainers because they were robbing him under the armpit.
That was the best of Loose Talk, featuring Kevin Day and myself, Mark Thomas, with Mark Hurst, Linda Smith, Dave Cohen, Pat Condell, Frank Skinner, Richard Morton, Fred Macaulay and Parrot.
Don't forget, a new series of Loose Talk begins next week, and 3 tickets for our Birmingham show can be picked up from the door of the Porsche nightclub, Regent's Park Road, Small Heath, or from reception at Radio WM, Pebble Mill Road, Birmingham, where Alan Titchmarsh lives.
Well, that's it from us, Mark Thomas and Kevin Day, and the producer, Armando Iannucci. See you next week, Birmingham.
Good night.